heart eye emoji. It's Max Major, and this is episode 142 of the vlog. It is Sunday, had a really fantastic day. Despite eating a dozen donuts and 4 pieces of fried chicken yesterday, I have felt phenomenal. Sunday is, of course, my favorite day of the week because that means it's time for Major Questions. Each week I answer your questions on Sunday nights about business, magic, psychology, whatever the hell you want to ask, I'll answer it. First question comes from Oz the Mentalist. That is Oz Perlman, 3rd place finalist this year's America's Got Talent. One of the most phenomenal mentalists in the world. Check him out. Oz asks, what's your favorite routine to perform? At the moment, it is unlocking people's cell phones, guessing their passcodes, digging inside their head and getting their password. And I think it's because people have such an emotional attachment to their cell phone. The reactions I've been getting from this are just so much fun. Actually, you can check out a cool montage of me unlocking a bunch of random strangers' iPhones right here or here. I can never remember what side it is. I always say this side and it's wrong, so I think it's this side. It's on one of these sides. At Loyal Sammy wants to know, hashtag Major Questions, it's karaoke lip sync night. What song would you choose? You know what's coming. About 5 minutes ago, I was singing the thong song by Cisco out of nowhere. Dong, 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 dong. Lively John asks, have you ever thought about doing a magic trick with a drone? Yes, in fact, I have. However, my drone is still currently out for repairs. It's like when you have a little kid and something bad happens to your pet and you're like, oh, we took her to the big rabbit farm out west where all the rabbits run. And like the drone, it's like, it's getting fixed. Chappelle.04 asks, what's your favorite food? Favorite food category would be like farm to table. I love those kind of restaurants, just like honkin' veggies and honkin' meat, but pizza, single food item. Christy's here, by the way, watching the camera.
Do you know how many times I've asked you your favorite food and you've never once answered? Never once.
What do I normally say?
You say, I don't know, I like everything.
I don't really know, that's the truth. That was a really hard question for me to answer. Okay, jumping on over to Facebook. Next question comes from Melissa Tate on Facebook. Melissa asks, how often do you practice your tricks? Melissa, interesting question. I think when I was first starting out, I used to practice all the time, but that was really about learning the foundation, kind of what I would need to be able to do what I would do the rest of my life. At the level I'm at in my performance career now, performing really is my practice. And so I suppose when I'm writing a new show, I spend a lot of time sort of through the ideation process, and then of course the rehearsal. So with my last touring show, I spent about 6 months writing and rehearsing that show. Once it got off the ground, I then performed that same exact show for 2 years. And so over the course of those 2 years, it improved exponentially. So from the very first performance to the last performance of the show, same material, but it just got sharper and sharper. And so in a way, performance has become my practice. Keith M. Carey asks, will you be doing multiple shows with different content at the Franklin Institute? Keith, only doing 2 shows, Thanksgiving weekend, Friday and Saturday. They will be the same exact show at face value, but in fact, the show is different each night because with Think Again, it relies a lot on audience input. And so I've actually had people come back to the show multiple times and it feels like a new show every night because it really relies on the decisions that people make and the folks who come up on stage, their choices, their personality, that kind of thing. And so it will be the same show both nights, but it will feel completely different. Jeffrey asks, had an incident at a kid's birthday party where the kids were not respecting the rules of the show. For example, grabbing props out of my hand, going through my magic equipment while I took a break. I try to stay professional, but when a 9-year-old starts messing with a prop that he grabbed while I took a break, it kind of gets you angry, especially when the parents were allowing it. How would you have handled this? In a way, you're giving off some energy that tells them that it's okay to do that sort of thing. And so it's not always like the verbal rules that you give. It's more your presence on stage that defines whether or not people are going to try and take advantage of you. And I think this applies to both children and adults. And so as you gain more confidence as a performer, you become more in control on stage. And I would say that these things become less and less likely to happen. Here you go. Next question comes from @ShyCovington on Twitter. He wants to know, what are you most thankful for? I'm most thankful for my parents. had the type of parents that gave me permission to pursue what it is that I love. They were always super supportive, and so I am most thankful for having supportive parents as a child because they gave me both the self-confidence but also the encouragement to pursue what it is that I love. And so, Mom and Dad, on this Thanksgiving week, thank you. That's it for major questions. This literally has become my favorite day of the week. I love a chance to interact and talk with you guys. Keep your questions coming in by Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can ask them anytime, not just when I put out a request for questions. Until next time.
Can't see it.
Question of the week. Each week, I pick the best question, or the funniest, or the most interesting, or one at random, to win a free t-shirt or deck of cards or some of my merchandise. This week's winner is Melissa Tate. Thank you for your awesome question about how often I practice.
Because you can't get anywhere without practice.